The Lichfield Canal has always been used to collect the surface water runoff from roofs, roads and paved areas in southern Lichfield. When the canal was closed to navigation in 1954, it had to be retained so it would continue to remove the surface water. However, in the 1960s, a large pipe, the Big Pipe as we call it now, was installed in the bed of the canal, downstream of Shortbutts Lane, and this allowed the canal channel to be filled in. As we restore the canal, we have to remove sections of the Big Pipe. The Big Pipe has been a major obstacle to the restoration because the water flow has to be maintained. A specific flow must be maintained into Darnford Brook from a connection at Bobby's Bend. In fine weather, it's just a trickle, but the pipe is big for good reason, as we saw in 2020 during Storm Dennis. In May 2016, after 3 years of negotiating permissions, the Big Pipe was removed from Pound 27.
As you see, the Big Pipe, which we've been working on negotiating and getting permissions for the last 3 years, is finally coming out on Pound 27.
With the pipe gone, the volunteers could complete the channel and get Pound 27 back into water. Following completion of the restoration of locks 25 and 26, our volunteers have been working hard on restoring the canal upstream of lock 25 and towards Cricket Lane. Where the Big Pipe is not within the line of the new channel, we are retaining it. This part of the pipe will become a permanent fixture, aiding the hydraulics for boats passing through the Narrows at the former site of Lock 24.
When a boat comes through, it nearly fills this channel, and as he pushes the water, it gives just an additional path for the water instead of having to try and squeeze round the boat.
And you'll see we've actually put the wall in front of the Big Pipe, and we're infilling behind the wall and in front of the pipe. So effectively the pipe becomes our back wall.
By 2025, around 100 metres of the channel upstream of old Lock 24 has largely been completed, and you can see how some of the Big Pipe has been retained and incorporated into the new wall. The volunteers are about to remove another 50 metres or so on the approach to Cricket Lane, but there is still another 600 metres of the Big Pipe obstructing the restoration, from Cricket Lane up to Lock 23, where pipe and canal finally part company.
And let's mention the Big Pipe, which basically was the pipe that was put into the bed of the canal when they abandoned the canal. They put in a 27-inch diameter concrete pipe which flows the full length of the canal in the bed of the canal, in through the locks, and in this instance we've actually got the manhole for the Big Pipe, and the old Big Pipe that was here but has already been moved to over this side of the retaining wall round the lock to ensure that the water from upstream goes round the lock and continues on down and goes under the A38 at Bobby's Bend. So this is the last of the Big Pipe, and the diversion from that has already been put in by Persimmon and Amy, the contractor's Amy.
At this end, the Big Pipe is within the future channel, so we have to remove it. If we go in the opposite direction over here, it comes out of the channel, so we would leave it in. So one of the complications is the point at which it leaves the channel that we want and disappears, so we have to accommodate that in some form. And the way that we've done it here is that we bring the wall down on the outside of the pipe, and then we step over the pipe with the wall, and then that carries on as before, that comes out, and then this wall continues off in that direction.
The time has come to remove another 50 metres or so, to to make way for more work on the canal channel leading up to the Cricket Lane culvert.
No, we're just having 2 inches is that. Good morning,
Okay,
Paul.
morning, Brian.
We've got to the point now in the construction where we are going to start removing this beautiful big pipe that's been the bane of our lives for a long time. Take it out of this section. Of course, at the moment that's taking a lot of water, and it's taking it through from topside right down to the far end of the canal channel here, and then onto the lock, and then onto Dartford Moors eventually. But because we've got to take this out, we've got to do something with the water. Now, as you look along the canal bed, you'll now see a black pipe at the bottom of the towpath wall sitting on the canal bottom. Now that is taking the water that was in the big pipe, it's taking the water down and keeping it away from the building construction. And the lads have built a sump there to accept the water from the big pipe,
Right.
and to join into the black one as well,
Okay.
and take it away. As you'll also see that there's certain puddles. We had, dare I say, a dry run on Saturday, which actually turned out to be a very wet run because there was quite a lot of joints leaking. Now, having had a weekend to dry out, the lads have now come along with some adhesive tape to put around the actual joints to stop the leaks, hopefully. We're a little bit short on pipe length, and where we get to the far end where we run out of pipe, we've got to build a shallow, and I mean shallow, sleeping policeman to stop the water running back up the channel, so that it doesn't flood up this way. If we get to that point where we have a torrential downpour, we won't cope with it. The whole site will be flooded. We are aware that we will get flooded, and we're going to live with that. And that's where we are at the moment. The lads have made tremendous strides forward this past few weeks to get us to this point, and we're rather excited that tomorrow we will get a rather large excavator with a lifting certificate that we can actually start lifting these pipes out of the way, putting them up to the other end, and storing them for future use. They will actually be used as reinforcing for the actual canal wall, but that's quite some time away, and I think that might be another sort of subject of your filming.
All right, well, thank you very much, Brian.
Right, is that okay? You've got all of that?
Yeah, that's great.
Coming up in part 2.
I'm not going to mess around. What we're doing, it's like it's over us.